Good morning, good morning, good morning.
I'm airborne. I couldn't wait because I could see it's getting busy.
Nah, it's your story. You stick to it. Don't worry. We forgive you. We wanted to beat you, but you beat us. So that's one of those things. Lloyd, there's a whole joke behind that. Don't take it too seriously. There's a hell of a joke behind this whole story.
That's, no, that's all right.
We've
No,
been
'cause-
sitting here laughing and pressing buttons and encouraging everybody, and it's been fun already this morning. Good morning, Captain Olaf. Good morning, John Redmond. We've had great fun. This freaking place is small. And you should have seen Uncle John there. He's the one on the left. He just did the most awesome pushback there without killing me from a very tight spot. There was an aircraft behind him that he missed. That guy subsequently disconnected. Lloyd was there where Paul is now, and Paul had to spawn somewhere there and then move himself. It's a tight spot, man. For big birds like this, wow. But we had fun. We had really good fun.
because it's a fun morning. So I could see like traffic is coming in, and I said, no, I'm not gonna wait any longer. Let me just. And it's a bad track as well, the west of it.
Yeah, it is. It is. Well, the guys here seem to want to try the taxiway on the other side of the runway. We'll see if it works.
Another taxiway.
There's a taxiway right on across the runway.
Oh, we didn't see that. I've got default scenery maybe.
No, mine is also default. It's a small one. We were wondering if it's a bicycle track or if it's really a taxiway. Look, so I don't know. Uncle John, I don't know if you're going to try the taxiway, but let us know if we need to backtrack rather.
That's where I'm going.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Don't get stuck in the mud.
Don't even go there.
Before start procedure.
Flight attendants, prepare for departure, cross check, and all call. Thank you.
Thank you, Trish. Okay. Right. So. APU is running, Paul. I'm about to push back in the next, I think, minute. We should be ready to go.
Okay.
Before start procedure. And there dies flippin' Microsoft speech recognition again. That's... Yeah, John, I know the feeling. Some of these guys have finished it already. Uncle John's flying it his second time. Right, so sending my message, releasing parking brake.
Starting pushback, and you may start engine.
Starting number 2 engine.
It looks, I'm going to do it, but it looks more like for a VFR traffic.
Well, try it. Let's see. If it doesn't work, me and Paul will take the runway.
No, it'll work. It'll work.
Okay.
Operation complete. Set parking brake. Disconnecting cow. Stand by.
Flaps 5 set.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the left. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
Uncle John,
Yes, sir.
I'm taxiing backtrack on that runway. You can't get on that runway.
You get the hell out of there. I'm down here.
No, I'm taking off before you.
I'll have words with you later, sir.
Here I'm coming.
Taxi lights on.
I'm kidding with you. I'm just kidding. I'm almost at the runway. You can take off. I just wanted to hear what you were saying. Hello, Steve.
Okay, the cabin is secured. Have a good flight.
I almost made it to cut you off there. I was just 1 minute too late.
Lining up.
Okay. I'm gonna backtrack, by the way. I'm not gonna use that taxiway.
Nothing wrong with that taxiway.
Alright. Okay. Steve, I don't have any problems with 10. I'm already on 11B this morning testing. I never had any problems with 10. Tom and another guy yesterday said to me they have problems. I don't have anybody else that would have problems. One of the big things that happened with version 10 is there was a quantum leap in reality again. Zibo got rid of some of the, let's call it sim shortcuts, you know, the simulator or the sim stuff that we grew up with, so to speak, you know, the normal cheats. I don't know, I can't really call it cheats. It's just the, you know, in the sim world, things were not really simulated properly, you know, and we all got used to the bad habits and the bad things that were given to us, and we believed them to be true because it came from reputable people, you know, and in the meantime they were pulling wool over our eyes and we didn't really realize some of the things, you know. So as the Zibo evolves, it's getting more closer to the real thing. And currently, if you look at the Zibo Mod version 10 specifically now, it's multiple aircraft in one, if I can explain it to you that way. And depending on the setting that you have in the EFB, it will give you that model type. So a lot of us simmers have to retrain our minds to forget, you know, some of the stuff that we thought was real when it wasn't, or to adapt to the real world models and the differences between them, because you can't really say another developer didn't do it right because he modeled his aircraft to his model that was available to him. We obviously modeling the Zibo to the aircraft that is available to us. We had an instance here, for instance, with this fuel flow. You see here on this display. Sasso, in the aircraft that he flies in the real world, simply doesn't have it. Okay, in actual fact, when he's got this fuel display, it's there. But when you change the fuel display and you've got those three little tanks showing there, then that fuel flow isn't there. Yesterday we had two of the other team members report back, and they actually supplied photos from their flights they did yesterday in the real world, where two of their aircraft is fitted with that fuel flow meter and two are not. So when you look at a Boeing model like this, there are so many different variations to the theme, and what Zibo obviously is trying to do is to make it as real as possible, and therefore options are now available in the EFB, so you can go and choose, you know, which model variant of the 737-800 you want. And that, sorry, it's a long story, but that one change to give options for different models is, I think, the biggest trip up in the whole community. The guys aren't used to it. The guys don't realize, first of all, their knowledge is wrong and their experience is wrong, and secondly, there are now options, and you know, they have to educate themselves towards which option is the one they're going to use to get what kind of result, you know. So there's going to be a bit of homework that the users need to do, and that was one of the big things I noticed in the community at large. The guys don't know what to do with it all of a sudden because it's not what they used to, you know. So I hope it makes sense. I know I spoke a lot, but I hope it makes sense that, you know, just go to the EFB. Somewhere there's an answer. Otherwise, ask, and then I'll try figure it out with you. You know, together we can set your plane up to be the way you want it to be.
Just out of interest, are you going to get airborne today?
Shush, man. You know, you're driving 50 knots down a taxiway made for bicycles, and now you want to ask me things like that. Yes. Anyway, Uncle John, I'm just kidding with you. Yes, sir, I'm almost there.
Horizontal stabilizer trigger not set to
Hallelujah.
take
I'm
off.
almost there. Yeah.
Oh, it's gorgeous up here this morning.
I'm glad. I need to reset my trim because I touched my trim wheel. In actual fact, let's just look down and bring it better so it's more in line with reality.
Trim up.
Steve, I don't see that the PNG is going to make a change in the frame rates. The thing that the guys don't understand is their settings are too high for their computers. They are overestimating their computer's power, you know, and that is also prevalent in the community. The guys want a scenery simulator instead of a flight simulator, and then their settings are too high and they do all kinds of weird things. The PNG is an uncompressed large file, so if anything, it's going to use more resources. Okay, it might be easier for the system to use them than a compressed DDS, because now it doesn't need to uncompress it, you know, on the fly and all these things. But in essence, the big thing that changes the FPS in the Zibo mod is actually dropping the XLua script. With every bunch of XLua scripts that get dropped and C++ gets put into its place, the code is more streamlined and you should get better resource usage, which should give better frame rates. The other thing that I don't get why people just can't understand this is frame rates are more impacted by clouds and silly Lua scripts and textures and things than it is by the Zibo mod. But they fly, the one day it's clear skies, they get good frames, the next day they complain because they flew into a cloudy place and the silly textures they used for their clouds messed them up. You know, but all of a sudden it's the Zibo's, you know, fault. And it's kind of annoying speaking from our side, because when I test, and I mean I usually fly with my tablet this side, you can clearly see my frame rate. It's locked at 31, and it's only when I get into very densely built areas, you know, because of autogen and traffic on the roads or clouds, that will actually move, you know. So anyway, each to his own. Let's go. Let's get back to the questions. John Redmond says no problems in 10 either. Fantastic, good to hear. Then we spoke about the PNT and Aviation Travel World. Good morning. There's one more thing I want to mention. I haven't spoken to Tom again yet, but yesterday he was struggling. He couldn't get VNAV to connect. And I forgot to ask him whether he tested VNAV on the ground, whether VNAV can actually connect. You see there, I'm arming it, right? So that's one of the things I train my pilots with, is always arm that thing on the ground. Make sure you've got VNAV control on the ground already. If you don't have VNAV now, you won't have it in the air, or there's a very good chance you won't have it in the air at least. So for the guys struggling with VNAV in 10, I think it's a programming issue. I think it's there's a slip up somewhere that I just haven't seen, because mine worked perfectly. So okay, enough of that. Let's get going. Paul, I'm coming down this runway now.
Stabilized.
Right, you are, sir.
Takeoff thrust set.
You're gonna love it up here this morning.
Looks pretty.
80 knots. Throttle hold.
Looks beautiful.
Rotate. Approaching
This runway
transition.
is full of ups and downs there.
Positive rate.
Oh, this is only a short flight, is it?
Yeah, it's fairly short.
Yeah, I'm on my top of climb right now, and
Excellent.
before you know it, I'm gonna be descending soon.
Runway turn off, lights off.
I've got an hour 10 to arrival.
Right, sorry, Lloyd, just as you were asking something, my son started speaking with me. I didn't follow that. If you were looking for me, I apologize.
No, I was just reporting to say I've reached my top of climb. It's a short flight.
Yes, compared to the other ones, yes.
Flaps 1 set.
Yeah.
Damn, she forgot to feed the cat again.
Oh, silly woman.
Approaching transition.
Gotta send that list through, Nico.
Yeah, enough times.
Flaps upset. Transition altitude.
What cruise did you select, Lloyd?
Steve, the cross-track error I'm not familiar with. I know Sasso and Zibo was talking about it. If you give me a few minutes, I'll quickly find Zibo's answer. I know it's in here somewhere in our chat group, but I don't know exactly where he said it. So I'll find that for you. But Ian is integrated approach navigation. Integrated approach navigation is one of those nice new features in the new generation aircraft that replaces almost every kind of approach. So if you have a VOR or an NDP approach, or you have a RNAV, LNAV, VNAV approach, you can actually hit your approach button and it will turn it into an ILS Cat 1 approach for you. So you don't have to learn how to do a NDP and a VOR approach. You just click a button and it becomes ILS. Literally a virtual ILS. See if I can find that other cross-track thing that we're talking about.
Problem lies when you use somebody else's 737, non-Zibo.
Yeah, and also you need to enable it and things like that. So again, it comes back to what I was saying earlier. There's a bit of education the users need to go through now, so to actually learn, you know, all these new things. Yes, Zibo made it an EFB option. It was always built in. It was always available in the Zibo, Steve. It's not a new thing. It's just what happened is exactly what I said earlier. The quantum leap to make it more real and to split the mod into different aircraft models necessitated the implementation of an option, because Ryanair, for instance, does not have Ian. Southwest Airlines does not have Ian. And if those pilots want to use the Zibo, that thing continuously interfered and they had to switch off the glide slope to get that to go, or they had to switch on the glide slope to get the Ian to go away. You understand? So it created a bit of a problem, and to address the issue with the real world pilots so that they can have a Zibo mod that's modeled according to the aircraft they actually fly during the day, Zibo had to bring in the option. So when you say Ian off, it's not just the display that changes, it's actually a subsystem and systems behind the scenes that change. You're talking, 10,000 lines of code all of a sudden that changes just because you set one small button. I'm probably exaggerating, but you get the idea. There's a whole bunch of things that need to change because all of a sudden the aircraft cannot behave like one with Ian. It now needs to behave with one without Ian, and vice versa. So it's getting very, very technical now, to be correct for everybody.
Display options, page 7.
Yes. Man, I can't search in this chat room. We have chat so much in this last week. I don't know. I'm going to have to search. Like I said, just give me a few minutes.
I've just sent you a message, Nico.
Okay. Thank you. You found it before me. Okay, so Zibo says it's a cross track on ND below aircraft symbol. So it says 00 and 001. So I presume that's it. That is what we're talking about. That's the cross track. So it gives you like a deviation how far you are off your track. That's what it is. That's interesting. Now I've learned something new. I saw they talked about it, but thank you, Mac. Thanks for saving me for that one.
Good morning, gents, by the way.
Hello.
Good morning, Mr. Mac.
Good morning, Mark.
I say Nico knew he was drunk this morning. He tried to put his seatbelt on when he sat on the loo.
I saw the joke on Facebook. It came my way, and it literally said, you're drunk when you sit on the loo and you try and fasten your seatbelt. That was where the joke started.
Are you trialing the latest and greatest?
Yes. Yes, sir. Right, then we get to top of descent. All these other ones are in the descent, so we're not going to bother with them. It's only the ones in cruise that we've set. Okay, so progress now. Next page. Forecast. 200. 0. Actually bring that up. Can read with me. It's amazing what a good night's sleep and a rest does for a man's mind. I can actually focus a little bit better this morning.
Paul's airborne.
Okay. Slash man. Helps if you put it in the right format and then right, that takes care of our descent and route winds. By the way, Steve, while I'm thinking about it, Zibo's not done with the Ian function yet. There are major changes still coming because, like we said, you know, it needs to be as the real aircraft. So it's there, it's functioning, but there are amazingly many ifs, ands, and buts that he still has to actually tie up to make it real, proper real. Guys, all of a sudden you're also quiet. Did I say something wrong, or are you just still waking up? What's happening?
Well, I was just waiting for you to comment more about the Ian before I butted in, because I didn't want to take your...
No, I'm done. You're welcome to
Well,
continue.
all I was going to add to Steve was that the Ian capability in the Zibo was implemented as default,
Yeah.
which aided and made it simpler to fly the aircraft for less capable flight simmers.
Yeah.
the option that now appears in the EFB takes away some of the automation and makes it more realistic for older style flying and creates a greater workload.
Yeah, and obviously, as I mentioned, then it matches some of the carriers like Ryanair and Southwest, for instance. You know, so if their pilots use the mod, they feel at home in the mod because that's what they fly every day. You know, and then the new guys with Ian can switch it on, and then they're at home. You know. Thanks, Olaf.
So we're flying south again today, are we?
I hope
Yeah,
we don't crash.
south,
Last time was not enough.
southwest.
Where's this end up?
EDDH Hamburg.
All right, okay.
Thousand to level off.
1,000 to go.
Coffee refreshed.
Good morning, Dominic. By the way, Mac and Paul, for that matter,
Yes.
I tried to recreate that airport where we took off just now, that auto tile with every single auto provider in my auto for XP. Not one of them can do it. Some do it better than others, you know, go further. I can't get that thing to work. It just doesn't download all the relevant information at all. At
Ah,
all.
right. Yeah. Well, I haven't tried again since, but I couldn't get it all several days ago, and I haven't tried since.
Paul will have to sell us the recipe then.
Mac had the answer.
Well, that was only to the elevation data. That wasn't to the Nico's problem. I think is the same as I had, Paul. We can't get all the JPEGs down.
Oh.
Yeah, it just doesn't download everything. Dominic, there are things happening behind the scene that is pushing me a little bit towards Vulkan. I'm giving Vulkan a shot this morning for the simple reason that it seems to be rather stable in all the offline test flights I've been doing. And you know, if it works, then at least I can find, you know, peace and rest for my soul, because it's been troubling me for many months that I couldn't run Vulkan on my system. Now, this is my normal X-plane that I usually stream with and I run OpenGL with. It's not a test model. So all I did this morning was just to tick the box, just to make sure we're running in Vulkan, and let's see what happens then. So it's part of the test. I'm also flying the latest Zibo. This is 11B that I'm testing now. Oh, by the way, I forgot there's one test I actually need to check. Thank you for reminding me. There we go, target speed. Let's just take a screenshot. Ooh, that's descent path. No, that's not what we want. That's what we want. Alright, so let's upload that one. So anyway, yeah. Let me get this posted. Morning. Alright, there we go. So Zibo can see that. So all in all, anyway, to make a long story short, it's all about testing. We're fiddling, checking things out. Steve, which update are you talking about? I'm not aware of a newer one. I am still using 5.06. Is there a newer one? Is that what you're saying, or is this the one that you're referring to? And then Captain Geo, good morning, good morning. Grab some coffee. But you know what, Geo, I won't hold it against you if you can't, you know, stick through the whole flight. I know where you're coming from. I've done a couple of late nights during the past week and it knocked me silly. So you're welcome to knock off any time and go have your rest anyway.
Good morning.
Hello, Reggie. Did you sleep well?
Yeah, okay, thank you. Well, so. To tell you the truth, but okay.
Okay.
What time did your flight start this morning, Nico?
10 a.m. my time. It's about 45 minutes ago.
Yeah, I'm behind Paul.
Send the roster, 0800.
Yeah, that's takeoff time, is it?
Oh no, Nico and I were in a bit earlier, so we set up for 8 o'clock.
Yeah, usually we start the stream and then start setting up it this morning. You know, we pushed it a little bit.
Should I take it as takeoff time or arrival time in the future?
Steve, I don't fiddle with color schemes and things. Number one, the ski rain effect does work in Vulkan. Zibo has just not implemented it in the mod, so you can't use the ski rain effect. All you need to do is switch it to on. If you use the normal Zibo rain effects, it will work. Vulkan and ski talk to each other, but Zibo needs to implement it still. Alright, so, and color schemes I never mess around with, so I'm at a total loss. I won't even be able to comment anything on that. Dominic, the default one in Skymax Pro, let me show you guys. If you go to Skymax Pro and you go to your third option there, your clouds, the volumetric beta, that one is a frame rate killer depending on the way you look at the clouds and also the cloud textures in use. So to combat that frame rate error, I'm using fast clouds. In my opinion, it's obviously looking better for me, but it isn't volumetric, you know, so you have to choose, and it's up to your system, you know, and your settings, whether you can run it. I'm happy not having volumetric clouds and using fast clouds, no problem. And you can check my frame rates, it hardly ever goes down. Usually it goes down for me on my system with density in autogen, traffic on the road, airport scenery, things like that, you know. But as for, I mentioned it earlier in the stream, you know, the textures of the cloud, that is a concern usually, and if you just use proper textures, you should be fine. You know, it shouldn't really bring it down, but when you use the wrong textures, it will bring it down. Steve, real weather connector is very definitely part of the same thing. So what I have is, there is the normal Skymax and there's the real world connector. So what the real world connector does is it takes away that stun effect, you know, where you've got clouds to 1 second, then it takes them all away and then it populates them again. So the real weather smooths that out, and it also helps to put the clouds in the right place. Alright, so anyway, sorry, my wife just asked me a question. So if you have Skymax Pro, alright, it's very important that you set up the real weather connector if you have it. You know, don't rush out and buy it if you don't have it, but it's a really nice to have, so I would recommend it. You know, go get it. Set it up appropriately. And then if you are using Active Sky, you need to set your Active Sky to talk to Skymax Pro as well. There's a special setting for that. If you don't set it correctly, the three systems just don't talk to each other properly, and that could also cause a lag in the CPU, which could translate into FPS issues because they don't talk to each other properly. Let's go have a look. See. Okay, let's open up all of these things. Let's start from one side. So we're going to open that one. There's your precipitation.
Right, I'm 2 minutes from top of descent.
Excellent. Alright, so for anybody who wants a snapshot, there you go, take your snapshot now. So then you can see those are my clouds, that's my precipitation settings. This is the real weather connector, and that's obviously Skymax Pro 5. So then let me do this for you. Alright, there's active sky. So if you go to options and you get the simulator depiction options, you'll see there Skymax Pro depiction mode is also on. So if you set all of these things up correctly, you should be fairly safe. Good frame rates, not any hassle, and all these other things. Well, you can remove the tick in the box to use the default explain built-in precipitation only. Alright. If you're using OpenGL, there are more options, but in Vulkan, you have it either on or off. Well, Dominic, let me tell you something. In Explain, there's an inherited problem in a couple of areas that I know of. Northeastern Spain, northeastern Holland, in the Netherlands, going to the northeast, and also in the west of the UK, there around about Manchester. If you fly into any of those areas, it's as good as you're turning off the tap. Okay, you're gonna lose frame rates in any of those areas because it's an explain optimization issue as far as I can imagine. I don't know the technical reason for it, but those areas, doesn't matter how many times I reinstall my explain, they stuffed. They're not good areas. Okay. Then, if you have the wrong cloud textures, if you have the wrong Lua scripts, and too many of each, and all these weird and wonderful stuff that the guys offer on the org, if you don't keep it simple, you're going to have issues. You're going to have issues if you have bad scenery. You're going to have issues if your autogen is too much. You're going to have issues if there's too many little cars driving on the roads. One of the things that I actually use, and I continuously forget about this thing because it's all hidden. Let me show you what else I've got here. Is if you go to fly with Lua and you go to the macros, LFD's auto view distance. I'm not sure if this thing really works, but I've been running it for a few months now, a couple of different versions, and this thing apparently dynamically sets the display for you as you fly. And I can tell you one thing, you can look at that 30 FPS. Unless I go into one of those areas I mentioned, my FPS hardly ever drops. It's very, very stable. So, you know, I've set this up with a target FPS of 30, and you can see it looks reasonable, looks like it's keeping it. Whether it really works or not, that also I can't tell you. But it appears to be. I'm getting close to top of decent. See there, I'm taking a frame rate hit. Something's eating me right now, and then it's gone back up. I don't know what that was. Yeah, it's because you flew over DC. DC is one of the most densely populated areas you can get. I also had the same. I forgot to mention that. There's another area. DC and New York. Oy, oy, oy. Those areas are terrible. You see, so unfortunately, the only way to combat that is to go to your settings then and reduce the number of objects or something to that effect, because the objects are way, way, way too much for most systems. Alright, how far are we from this place? Still 42. I guess we can't really do that. Let's check our weather then.
78 for top of descent.
Okay. So we have 1022.
Just to also point out that frame rates isn't dependent on graphics card alone.
Yeah. Correct. Anything on the left hand side is graphics card, anything on the right hand side of the settings of your graphics settings in X-Plane, that's CPU. So if your CPU can't cope, it's not gonna cope.
Good morning, all.
Hello, Kevin.
Morning, Kev.
Morning, Kevin.
Morning, Kev.
Good morning. Missed the flight again.
There's another opportunity sometime in the week, I'm sure. Okay. Steve, that is the IVAO client. Every time there is a new message, it's going drip, drip, drip. I know it's highly annoying, but that's what it is. Every time there's a new message here. Because I'm blind. No, ILS is 11150, 11150. The VOR is 11580, and I set that as a reference. You see, there's the VOR, Alistair, or Ulster, sorry, Ulster. Hello, Alistair. There's Ulster, so I'm setting that as a point of reference for myself, so I can see the DME and things like that, and also the radial line. That's all. If I need the other ILS, I'll just flick it across. So if I all of a sudden get a weather issue and I need the auto land, it's easy enough to just flick across.
I would like to have a cup of coffee right now. You too?
Uncle John,
Yes, sir.
I'm on the Aerosoft forum right now reading up on the Bravo. I've just got one question for you, just one question.
Tell me.
How many problems have you had with your Bravo throttle?
Pass.
Not one that I know of, right? You haven't had any issues, problems, nothing.
No. Not to my knowledge.
Okay.
I am on descent, by the way.
I'm on the spaghetti right now.
On the spaghetti.
Yeah.
Is that what
The
you said?
spaghetti.
Okay.
Yeah, the approach. Yeah.
Okay, alright. Never heard that one before. Cute.
Live and learn.
Oh.
Did you guys choose ILS 23?
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
I'm sorry, Paul, you were asking or saying?
Exactly that question. Which runway? So yeah, I've got 23 also.
John Redmond, I agree with you. It's going to be overwhelmingly daunting, even if you come from PMDG, because the systems are so different. One of the things we offer is obviously training, okay? Between me and the guys here on Discord, everybody that has now got a fair amount of training, we can help people, but it's impossible to do it on Facebook. It's impossible to do it on the forum. And that's why we created, and we're loving this Discord and the real pilots that are here with us. Sasso is just one. We've got Jan Nubiola as well that said he's willing to help us. That's also part of the Zibo team with me, you know. And we're blessed with guys like that who continuously help guys like us evolve, okay? But one of the big things that is really bugging me right now is the message doesn't seem to get out to the proper and appropriate people at the proper time. Even guys who have been part of the Zibo pilots group for a year or more don't seem to know that we do this, you know, and so I think it's time for a bit of advertising again, you know, force feeding or something to get the guys to realize that there are facilities and ways, because one of the biggest problems we also have with all the different videos and everything that are available, not all of them are actually factually correct, not all of them are good and beneficial. I actually deleted over the last 2 days 2 different posts on the Zibo pilots group related to training. In fact, 3 of them in 3 days now, that I recall correctly. Because we can't allow substandard or half-baked training, you know. It's too important for us. We stuck, and if the guys would join us on Discord and come and become part of us, but you know, in Discord you obviously have to use your voice, and people are shy and things like that. So there's a couple of barriers to entry on that side of the coin as well. But at least we try. And good morning, Gary. Good morning to you, sir. It does, John. It's way more than an hobby. We take it very seriously, and believe it or not, there are guys that take it even more serious than we do. You know, we try and keep a balance. You know, I mean, we don't want to make it a job, you know, or a chore, or make people scared to get involved. But there is a certain amount of studying and elbow grease that needs to go into actually getting to a proper functioning level. Otherwise, it will always just be a game. You know, and we've gone a bit past that. We beyond the game. We're in the simulation side of things. You know, that's what we like to do. Gary. Yeah. That's funny. But you know what? I'm happy with the guys here on Discord. We've achieved much. And for the guys who really, really want to learn, this is a good place to come. Yep. Yeah, me too.
Well, IVAO treat our group as the benchmark.
I've been sitting here in full faith. I haven't made a single save situation, Uncle John. I just clicked on save the first time.
I'm not bothering. I shouldn't say that, I know, but I just don't have any problems. My system run flawlessly now for weeks.
No, same. But remember, I had that power failure on, when was it? Friday? Freaking.
That was a godsend that you did that.
Yeah. And the fact is, I'm flying Vulkan, you know, so.
Yeah, well, you know, I won't fly Vulkan because I get a frame rate
really
off.
tired.
So far, I'm really happy this morning, Uncle John. I can tell you that. I'm really happy.
Good.
Right, guys, I'm on fine now.
Okay.
Interesting S approach, isn't it, this one?
Very.
It is indeed, yeah.
Hello, Bobino.
QNH 1022.
Yes, sir. Gary, that's a good one. Okay, I think we must do something like that. Yes. Let's speak to Jordan as well and see what we can do. %. And sleep well, my friend. We'll talk later. Tower is online. 126.855.
Yeah, I thought they might come on. Hamburg Tower's on quite a lot.
Yeah. Hamburg Tower, good day, Skymatix 001, radio check. It's not transmitting, why not? My program isn't running to interface. Joy the key, start up, sir. Hamburg Tower, good morning, Skymatix 001, radio check.
Skymatix 001, here 555.
Thank you, sir. We hear you 55 as well. See, check there, my frames went down for the guys who've been watching my frames, and check the clouds now, you see? Clouds, 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 clouds. And now it needs to load and get it out and into the system, and then it will go back. There you go. Terrible for that few seconds. Yuck. But it looks nice.
Skymatix 047, good morning. On the approach, ILS 23.
Approaching
Skymatix
transition.
047, wind 260 degrees, 12 knots, runway 23, clear to land.
Skymatix 047, clear to land.
Transition level.
Skymatix 047 established, ILS 23.
Uncle John? Oh. He actually cleared him to land, but now he's not listening to me.
Hamburg Tower, below gas, 16 golf range check. 260 degrees, 12 knots, runway 23, clear to land.
Skymatix 047, clear to land.
Ah, Stefan, yeah.
Hamburg Tower, moin, below gas, 16 golf range check. Moin, Beluga 16 Golf, here 555. Merci beaucoup, Beluga 16 Golf, request clearance to Ingolstadt.
And I tell you what, if it was that easy, I would have been there just now, you know. Would have told him to get the coffee going.
Golf, clear to destination Ingolstadt via Minute 9 Biscuit departure out of runway 23, flight per noted initial climb 5,000 feet, squawk 1,000.
Man, and these guys are flying these belugas all over, eh?
Cleared Ingolstadt under Dana Whiskey departure, runway 23, flight and route, climb 5,000 feet and squawk 1,000, Beluga 16 Golf.
Thousand to level off.
There's Uncle John there.
1,000 to go.
Yeah, they've done a good PR exercise on the Beluga, but it's living up to expectations. That's the thing, Nico.
That's good. That's good. But I hear it on the radio. This is like the third time already since yesterday. And then obviously I see it all over Facebook. My Facebook lit up with it.
Flaps 1 set. Takeoff was great. We'll see your landing.
Yeah.
Flaps 5 set. Localizer capture.
Hamburg Tower, Skymatix 001 on the ILS for runway 23.
Skymatix 001, wind 260 degrees, 12 knots, continue.
I will continue Skymatix 001. Okay, I'm not going to drop the gear and do the flaps now with this ring. I'm going to hold back a little bit because this final approach fix is a bit far.
Skymatix 047 Tower, runway vacated.
Yeah, it is far.
Skymatix 047, taxi to holding point runway 33 via Delta 1.
I see we are still at 10.8 DME on the VOR, so
Skymatix 047 via Delta 1.
I'm going to just let it go a little bit closer.
Skymatix 047, confirm holding point runway 33.
Skymatix 047, hold on 33.
Glide slope capture.
Skymatix 001, wind 260 degrees, 12 knots, runway 23, clear to land.
Clear to land runway 23, Skymatix 001.
Flaps 15 set.
Skymatix VA cross runway 33 on the other side, taxi to gate 02 Alpha, via 03 Zulu 1.
Skymatix 047, clear to cross runway 33. I didn't get the rest.
Skymatix 047, taxi to gate 02 Alpha, via 03 Zulu 1.
Skymatix 047 via Alpha. Gate number?
Skymatix 047, gate 02 Alpha, via 03 Zulu 1.
02 Alpha.
Skymatix 047, apologies sir, could you text me that? Skymatix 047, thank you.
300. 200. Approaching minimums. 100. Minimums. 50. 40. 30, 20, 10.
Speed brake up. Reverse unlocked. Auto brake in use.
Nice landing.
5,000 feet remaining.
$60 knots. Yet. Great landing. You are professional.
Thank you, Linda. After landing procedure. No, she's not there. I forgot that thing crashed out. Runway vacated, Skymatix 001.
Skymatix 001, taxi to holding point runway 33 via Delta 1.
Holding point runway 33 via Delta 1, Skymatix 001.
Beluga 130 Charlie, radio check.
Beluga 130 Charlie here, 555.
One aboard, okay, thank you. Ey, sag immer bitte ganz kurz, dass ich hier Spam-Schutz habe bei Teamspeak.
Das ist Manik.
Beluga 130 Charlie, information, Foxtrot about, Foxtrot on board, request startup.
Beluga 130 Charlie, information Foxtrot correct, setup approved to the destination Ingolstadt via AMLO 9 Whiskey, departure of runway 23, initial climb 5,000 feet, 7,000.
Thank you, Stefan. Nice to
Roger,
be
setup
here.
approved, cleared Ingolstadt, AMLO 9 Whiskey, departure route flat, transport score 1000, Beluga 130 Charlie.
Skymatix 047 on the block.
Skymatix 047, roger, connect the frequency, have a nice dance, use in Hamburg.
Ooh, where am I going?
Unicom 122.1. Thank you for your service, sir.
You're going to the orange zone.
That was Skymatix 001. Sorry, sir, I was not concentrating. I'm on golf now. Oops.
Skymatix 001, no problem, continue via Golf for touch runway 33.
Did you say cross runway 33, sir?
Yes, sir, continue on Golf for short runway 33.
Thank you so much. We'll hold short runway 33, Skymatix 001. I'm sitting here doing Linda's work and I'm going through the motions. I didn't realize the freaking taxiway split in two. I didn't see that. Oops. Oh, I hate being human. There's Uncle John over there. Right, this is the runway, so we're gonna hold short over here.
Day Hamburg Tower, Skymatix 014, radio check please.
Skymatix 0 for here 5x5.
5, thank you.
You're not coming over, Nico?
Told me to hold short.
Oh, I do apologise. I've only just come back online.
No worries. He made you wait a minute or two as well, so I think he's really trying to simulate good real world procedures.
He was good.
Yeah, I don't know. Problem with him. I just heard that you couldn't hear him at one stage, so I'm glad you asked for the text.
You're loving me, aren't you? You're loving me.
Yeah, this accent is a bit thick German, you
Yeah,
know.
it is.
So,
Yeah. It's a bit hard.
Yeah, especially for you, I understand. Yeah.
I got most of it. It was his final instructions.
No, I heard. Well, I've got my parking brake on. Linda's folding her arms even. Look there, she's bored out of her skull.
I've got a nice pic of you with some of the stuff in the background.
Awesome. Yeah, I took a picture of you two guys standing over there as well. Let's take another one.
I think he's forgot about you, Nico.
I'm guessing Paul's in next.
Yeah, I suppose. Tower Skymatix 001. May we cross runway 33?
Skymatix 001, cross runway 33, take to the gate 05 Bravo via Sudoban.
Crossing 33 to 05 Bravo via Zulu 1, Skymatix 001.
Skymatix 001, you have to hold short there because Linda ordered some pizza.
Approaching 3-3.
No, the guy can give it to her through the window. He must just bring his little pickup and drive next to us then. His little motorbike, you know, let someone balance on the back and give it through the window. Right, so he said 05 Bravo. I have no idea where 05 Bravo is. I better look it up. I can't recall.
Give me a second, I'll have a look for you.
Established on ILS for runway 23.
Continue straight. Continue straight on that taxiway.
Yeah, there's Zulu 1 and there's 05 Bravo. I got it.
You got it, yeah? Okay.
Skymatix 014, wind 260 degrees, 2 knots, continue approach.
And here's Paul.
Skymatix 014.
Next time I need to use this thing again. I must just figure out quickly what keyboard shortcut I made for it because I can't remember now. And it would help if I can just quickly bring it up and just check. I forget I've got these tools, man. Rather silly. Just missed that screenshot. Let's see.
I got it.
I got one too eventually.
Skymatix 015, expect light landing clearance.
Skymatix 014, expects light clearance.
Alright, we made it.
Just waiting for Reggie now.
Skymatix 01 on the blocks.
Skymatix 01, roger, connect your frequency, welcome to Hamburg, I hope this is soon at the airport.
Thank you for your service, sir. We'll be back probably on Friday. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Skymatix 0.
Alright.
He's probably thinking, well, I've got to park that aircraft there till Friday.
Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha.
Why can't I see Reggie?
I was absolutely convinced that these gates will actually use SAM and that they will work.
Can anybody else see Reggie on their screen?
I haven't looked, Uncle John.
Reggie, let me check.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm right behind Paul.
I can't even see you. No, I can see you on WebEye, but I can't see you physically.
Yeah, it's not showing on the... Yeah, Reggie, you're not showing in the stream.
I've reconnected.
Ah, yeah, now I've got you.
Oh, now you're showing now.
Yeah, definitely.
Photo call.
That's for now. I'm not continuing the tour today. I've had quite a rough few days. I'm actually thinking of just being very lazy. If I am going to fly, it will probably be the TBM just to do something different. Or unless if Zibo calls me and I need to go do something for him, then I'll come back to the Zibo. But I just want to kind of be lazy today. As far as I know, my dad is coming to visit at about 1400 Zulu. Not sure how long he's going to be here. So in the whole mix, I'm not sure what's going to happen, to be honest. But definitely not another leg of the world tour, eh? Not today. Thank you, Olaf. You too. Have a good day.
So nice to see a gaggle of Skymatix.
Oh, yes. Five of us.
Yes, sir. Be a nice pick.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with the city behind.
Thank you, Lloyd. Nice pick.
You walk. Come on.
All you need to do is come to the welcome room, type in your question mark and agree, one word, and you'll see it. There's the actual question mark with the word agree afterwards. The moment I pick you up, I'll let you in. It's easy as that. Unfortunately, we don't allow automatic link up to our server. Too much valuable stuff on here for the hackers and the other people who are not our friends to come and mess up, you know. So all the security is done manually. John, are you still watching? Are you still here? Because I can show you my settings. Otherwise, I need to go fetch the Zibo install guide and get it from there. Either or. Wow, that looks nice. Come on, Reggie.
Looks beautiful, doesn't it?
Yep.
I want to take this shot, and then I want another one from your end, Nika.
Yeah, I've got the one here from my end. There you go. Welcome, guys, and thank you, Germany, for having us, and yeah, all the other nice things that comes with that. So, Hamburg, thank you for having us.
Just give me a sec, Nick.
Tell me when you're done.
I'm done.
Okay. Right, okay,
I'm
so
gonna have to do my MARIP.
Thanks, gents.
same here.
Right, I wondered
You're
what was
welcome.
that, I lost connection with ATC when I reconnected. Messages. It was strange.
TARA mode set. 1000 to level off.
I just want to test one more thing here that the guys are complaining about. Don't know, I've never seen this.
Uncle John,
Yes, sir.
do you still have your strobes on? I just want to see whether it's a bug or.
Negative. I turned all my lights out.
Oh, you're the only one with the strobes flashing.
Let me have a look.
Stabilized.
Ugh, now my frame rates have dropped.
Is that better? Is that better?
Let me have a look. Yeah, it's better now. Yeah, they've gone off.
Thank you.
Brum, 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 brum. Come on.
TARA mode set. Approaching transition. Transition level. 1000 to level off. Stabilized. Localizer capture.
Got a few pics in.
I'm back. Yes, okay, I can show you just now. Thanks, Lloyd. Lloyd, put those screenshots in the screenshot folder, then everybody can see them. Looking good.
Alright, okay, I'll do that.
Glide slope capture.
I've dropped quite a few in there.
John, give me a second. I just want to land and then
Flaps 5 set.
I can show you quickly. I'm just doing a quick test. Ah, why don't we do this as well? Let's do an auto land. Why not? Just for the heck of it.
Whoop, whoop. Flaps 15 set. Flaps 30 set.
Jean-Christophe, yes, I will, but we need to wait for Zibo to finish it. Okay. In actual fact, you know what we can do? We can actually fly it on this runway as well. So you know what? Okay, I don't know what this bot is about, but I read your message. I'll see if we can quickly do an Ian with this runway. If we can do an Ian with this runway, I'll show you it quickly. It's easy. But I need you to understand that Zibo is working on it. There is a lot of technical little things that he is busy fixing up to make it exactly like the real thing. Right, so the current model works, but it's more a flight simmer model. It's not the real aircraft model. Okay, the way it works in the real world. So when that is done, we'll do one.
2, 3.
If you want to see my initial video, it's on my YouTube channel. You can see the Ian when it was introduced about a year ago already. I did a video on Ian. So hang tight, let's see if we can do one after this. I just want to help John Redmond quickly with the settings, and then we'll try another flight on this runway, and let's see if we can quickly do an Ian one for you.
300.
Otherwise I'll have to show you at a different runway. We'll see what we can do now.
200. 100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Speed brake up. Reverse unlocked. 80 knots. Throttle hold. V1. Auto brake induced.
100%.
60 knots.
Stable ready.
Yeah. Great landing.
That was beautiful.
You
and
are
it kept that
professional.
center line so pretty.
Chat later.
Bye bye.
Bye, Reggie.
Alright, let's just park over here. I'm not online, so I'm not gonna bother and interfere with anybody. Alright. Okay, parking back. Okay, John. So we go to our joystick settings. Alright, this button is auto throttle arm. Alright, that is the command. So the first thing you need to know about the Zibo, for you to map any command, the Zibo needs to be running. If the Zibo isn't running, you'll probably not see the correct commands. So once the Zibo's running. That button number 4, that white one, I've connected to throttle arm. Alright, so that's the one. Then the other one is this one, AP disconnect, which is number 5. It's this one. So what I have is disconnect is on number 5. So when I press it that side, it disarms. When I press it a second time, it silences the alarm. So typically what it does is it drops that autopilot bar. Then it goes tweet, tweet, tweet. Then you press it again, it will put it back in place. And then the other one is number 6. On the same button, just on the right hand side, I've got Command A. So after takeoff, I swipe it to the right for Command A. That's your command over there. That's the actual explain command that you need to look for. By the way, those words, those are the actual commands. And then that one is disconnect, and I press it the second time. I'll show you quickly what it looks like. If I press it the first time, you see it drops the bar. There's your alarm. So you can either now click it to silence it, or I just click it again. See, I've got an up-down motion. It's like a toggle switch, that one. And the other one, that's Command A. See, swiping it to the right-hand side. Alright, I hope that helps you. Right, so let's see if we can do an Ian approach on this runway. Okay, I'll have to set it in the air again. Let's see if we can do it here.
Flaps up set.
Alright, okay.
Runway
So let's see if we can do that.
Taxi lights off.
So we've taken the ILS off. Okay.
Stabilized.
Now we are on LNAV VNAV. Alright, so there's no ILS. And if we are on the LNAV VNAV, this thing must just stabilize. Now we can assist it a little bit. You'll see what's going to happen now is if I do not press the approach button, it's going to remain in LNAV VNAV. If I press the approach button, hang on, let's see if it is on. And if it doesn't work, it just means we have to wait a few days so Zibo can just fix it properly. Yeah, Ian is installed. Oh, and you know what we didn't do? Approach. Where's approach now? There's approach. Need to change this now. RNP 23. It's supposed to show us the data over there, so I'm not sure it's going to work now, but I'll have to show you then at a different place. Definitely should work. Legs, sauce.
Quite a way out yet.
I know, but it's only 14 nauticals. It could be that it needs us to be closer. We'll see now, but it's supposed to pick up on at least that it is available. You see, it does tell us we've got the glide path is available. With all the things that have changed in it, I won't be surprised if it isn't working at this very moment.
Flaps 5 set.
There's the nose dip already. You see, it's just not picking up. Let's just toggle it quickly and see if it might bring it back. Yeah, it's definitely not working. Okay, guys, just as another point of interest, this still might work in your version. I'm on 11B, so I'm like 2 versions ahead of you. If you go and try this, the principle is easy. If you do not have ILS active, and if you have LNAV VNAV approach, it should show you the information there, and you should see the diamonds for an ILS. And all you do is you press the approach button, and that will activate the Ian for you. Basically, that's all you do. That's how easy it is. Zibo is definitely working on this, and I'll just ask him to have a look at it anyway. I mean, he's working on it. I don't really want to bother him. We all know he's working on it on this side, so let him finish it and then everything will be okay. We've just lost. Let's do one more test on. We've just lost that glide path anyway.
1,000 to go.
Flaps upset. 1,000 to level off.
$1,000 to go.
My son's getting excited in the background. Sorry, guys.
Positive rate.
It's not coming in, at all. I'm not sure if it's because of the way it's saved or not. So the quick answer would be to go to my actual Ian video. That'll give you the ins and outs the way it used to work, and then the moment Zibo's finished with this, I'll make a new video on the new Ian thing, and then we'll update and refresh all the videos. But this is interesting, I might be honest. It's now gonna bug me a bit. That's why I don't just leave it. I'm not sure why it's not picking up on that. We're getting too close. It should have told us a long time ago. I'm just going to take a screenshot and I'll send that off to Zibo and just ask his advice. See, he might turn around and say, oh no, I switched it off because I'm working on it, which is highly likely. I said that already, so. At least it's taking the LNAV, VNAV.
Flaps 15 set.
Are you saying you're not getting the ILS frequency?
No, so I'm saying the Ian.
Flaps 30
I think
set.
Zibo took it offline because he's working on it. Ian is not working here in 11 at all. Ian is dead. So I'm thinking version 10 that the users have, it was still working. I know it was because I used it. But in 11b he's taking it offline. Definitely not coming up.
Right, it's coffee time. I'll be back in a sec.
Okay.
Can you confirm what frequency you've got, Nika?
For what?
VVOR 1.
VOR 1 is 11330. I don't think it's relevant. The real one is 115.8. That's just a placeholder, Mac.
Okay.
1,000 feet, stabilized, Mr. Birch, altitude set.
Taxi lights on. 1000 to level off.
Approaching 2-3.
So I'm just looking at the frequencies, and 113.1 is some distance away from the airfield. 115.8 is the one on the airfield.
I know. That is literally a placeholder, Mac. I didn't intend for it to be anything else.
Yeah, but I'm just wondering, doesn't the EAN need that VOR?
No, not at all. Ian runs 100% off the FMC. It's completely GPS based.
Yeah, okay. Should do as well.
Flaps 5 set. Runway turn off, lights off. Taxi lights off. Flaps 1 set. Thousand to level off.
1,000 to go.
Yeah, doesn't really climb, so it wants to do a go around.
Flaps upset.
That's just me playing. Jean-Christophe, I'll get back to you on that one. In the meantime, go watch that video of mine. Hope you understand. We'll talk to Zibo about this one because you know what's happening here behind the scenes. The guys are behind the scenes, and we'll take it from there. It's now opened a bunch of questions for me, so I'll investigate. For the rest of it, I'm going to go relax now. You guys go have a good rest of your weekend, and if it happens that I stream again, like I said, it might or might not happen. Otherwise, we'll see you in the week, either on YouTube or Twitch. That's it. Thank you for watching, and thanks for flying with guys, the guys that did.
Cheers, Nico.
Bye bye, Mac. I'll be with you guys in a sec.